Here we have a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. This one comes in the high country trim level in Summit White. We have jet black leather interior. And for the powertrain, we get a 6.6 liter turbo diesel V8 engine, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. So top of the line here being a Duramax high country. To the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with our LED daytime running lights. The lights don't flash like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. We also get the LED fog lights as well. And just a really nice, sophisticated front fascia for this high country. Love how everything's either body colored or chrome there. Down here to these wheels, these are 20-inch aluminum. We get passive keyless entry on the front. Into the door panel here, power door lock controls, memory seat functions. We get express down for the back windows and one touch up and down for the front. Power mirror controls, all of that here. We can power fold them. They do have blind spot monitors in them. And then we can also slide them in and out with power as well. So very adjustable. Premium Bose sound system. Drive modes, full four-wheel drive controls, headlamp controls, heads-up display controls, and then we have a electronic parking brake. Hood releases here, manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here we have our power driver seat with two-way power lumbar support. And a nice looking seat in my opinion. I really like how the brown kind of goes in there. But a huge thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. So tons of storage in the seats, under the seats. Seat back pockets are on both sides. I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, sitting behind myself. Tons of space here. 3-stage heated outboard seats, rear AC vents are here. USB-C, USB-A charge port, bottle holders. Nice view of the front from back here. This one does have the power sunroof, so that's what the sunshade looks like. And then LED lights throughout. Bottle holders are there in the middle. And then on either side, we do have nice sturdy hangers, so if you want to hang your uniform or whatever, you can. Child locks right here, lock, unlock. And then you can put your dent fluid, diesel. As we come around to the back end here, full LED tail lamps. Nice touch there. There's the hitch, exhaust, spare tire underneath. So this is probably my favorite tailgate. You get a 120 volt back here, lights, gooseneck, all that. But one touch, up and down, power tailgate. Love that. And then to the front passenger seat, you get that two-way power lumbar and power adjustability that we get on that driver's side seat as well. Nice to have that. Get these nice pockets on the side too, tons of space. Lockable glove compartment, top pocket here. I just love how that wood grain feels. That feels real. Now we're just gonna take a quick look in the engine bay. Again, a 6.6 liter turbo diesel V8. And this actually has some miles on it, so I'll be able to actually give it a nice pull on the test drive portion. Let's check out these blinkers. So again, full LED, nice look there. And then as we come back around to the front, the ones in the side mirrors, as well as the front there. Let's go ahead and hop in here. So nice leather wrap steering wheel. There's the horn. Over here to the radio, AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio, Google News, Google Podcasts, Amazon Alexa, and then we also have the Google Maps that we can pull up. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is also included here. And then you have dual zone automatic climate controls, which you can control from the screen here. Or you have buttons and knobs down here below. 3-stage heated cool front seats, USB-C, USB-A port, trailer brake controllers there. So you can adjust that again from the screen or from the button. So it's nice to have those options. Now in your settings here, vehicle settings include your teen driver, rear seat reminder, buckle to drive. And if you scroll down to the system settings, you can adjust your language there. Now with this one being loaded out, you have a backup camera, front camera, curbside, trailer, and then my favorite is going to be the bed view camera, where you can actually see what's in the bed, how everything's hooked up and all that. Now down here below, the lane keeping system, exhaust brake, parking sensors. Again, having that one-touch up and down tailgate is one of the reasons I love the high countries LTZs that have this option, because especially if you're getting something loaded up at a job site, or if you're at Lowe's, you can open and close the tailgate while somebody else puts the stuff in there without having to get out, or without having to tell them how to get your lift gate or tailgate back up. But downhill brake control, traction control, and again, those hazards are there. Nice that we get a knob here and a home button. Pretty good storage here, bottle holders, and then your traditional center console cubby space includes a wireless charging pad, a 3-prong household plug-in, USB-C, USB-A port, and then a nice light in there with a removable tray. And then a look at the back seat, you get a power slide and rear window, home remote and all that. And your controls are right in here. Now you can slide or tilt the roof, but I'm just gonna one-touch slide it, see how far it goes back. So it goes all the way behind the cover. Rear camera mirror is here. And then for your vanity mirror, you actually get a pretty nice one in this high country. So those are LED lights there. Now back to the steering wheel, blinkers. Your high beams are there, you can flash, and your auto high beams can be toggled with this button on the side. Front fluid is here, and then you have your intermittent wipers there, and then one time. Traditional shifter on the column, so just grab while your foot's on the brake, pull, reverse, neutral drive, and then you have the low mode there, and you can use that limiter, and you can see in that bottom right-hand corner, it'll show you what gear you're limited to there. To the right side of the steering wheel, since we do have adaptive cruise, we can turn that on or off here, and when your adaptive is on, you can hold this cancel button and it'll change to regular. You can also just use that to cancel either cruise when you just tap it, and then you can adjust speed there. Heated steering wheel toggles there, gap adjust for the forward collision alert, as well as the adaptive cruise is here. And then voice recognition, mute. This is a scroll bar, and you can go through submenus and whatnot here. So if I go to the settings, I can scroll down to the units and change my units from US to metric, or even change what's shown on these gauges here, which is pretty neat. So there's a lot that you can actually fool with. And then your info pages, you can scroll through those here. Behind the steering wheel on the left side, we can toggle track list and radio station presets. And behind on the right side, volume up's at the top, volume down is below. See if I can turn the brightness up on this gauge cluster really quick. I'm gonna zoom in there. A nice look at that. You can change the info shown there, which is kind of hard to do, or kind of hard to see on the camera. But just touch of a button there. And then push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Silverado 2500 High Country out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this 2500 HD here, Love having the Duramax with the Allison transmission, and I like that we get the 10-speed across the board now, just because it's such a great transmission in terms of the shifts, the fuel economy, how it sounds. Everything just feels good with the Allison, but especially paired with the turbo diesel V8, just seamlessly goes through the gears as you're getting the power. And we're gonna test that out getting on the interstate here momentarily. Gonna give myself a little space. Luckily nobody's around me. Here we go. Yeah, man, that pull, that feels really good. Now, in terms of the ride quality, it's a heavy duty truck, so it is very bumpy, but it's still comfortable in here. And I think it has to do with the beefier leaf springs. Obviously, having leather seats helps as opposed to cloth. But for a truck that's pushing close to $100,000, you want something that doesn't feel like a work truck. And this does feel like a heavy duty pickup, but the ride just feels more tame because of all the added features you get, as opposed to having a hard vinyl steering wheel, having the leather at wheel with the heat. It just feels very, very nice. I do wish that we could get some sort of lane centering, because that would be awesome. But I do like the overall performance though. Again, for a heavy duty truck, when you're not pulling something or hauling something, it's nice to have that performance aspect to it too, if that makes sense. The acceleration from a turbocharged V8 diesel engine. Now I want to give one more thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now again, I do think for almost 6 figures, you should get something that feels as good as this does. But I mean, it's not even about necessarily the luxury here, but the capabilities. So you have a full 4-wheel drive system. This thing's ready to go with the advanced trailering package. Just how it's equipped, it's a very nice truck that's still a 2500 HD Silverado. So yeah, we have a heads-up display. Yeah, we have a heated steering wheel and sunroof and all of that, but you can tow between 18 and like 19.5, I think, in terms of weight, depending on whether you have a gooseneck or you're just towing conventionally. And that is a lot of weight to pull behind you. So just having that capability, again, all the other stuff is nice, but when you're looking at a truck like this, you're trying to pull a big boat more than likely. You're trying to pull a trailer that's pretty heavy. So don't be fooled by the luxury in here. You still have a workhorse. And overall, just driving this around town, it's not as bad as you would think. The adaptive cruise certainly helps. The lane keeping system certainly helps. But as huge as this truck is, it only really shows its size in very, very thin 2-lane roads. And this is not one of those. This is pretty wide in my opinion. And then just parking in general. So having to go through a parking lot or something like that, It's a bit more difficult doing it in this as opposed to a smart car or a Toyota Corolla or something like that. So it still has its challenges, but it just feels so much better. I've driven some older 3500, 2500s, and this feels much better just having the mirrors the way they are, having the blind spot monitors, having the visibility here. So they've come a long way with the ease of driving when it comes to these kind of trucks. But it's just super nice for what you get, but it does cost a lot of money, so keep that in mind. With all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Silverado 2500 HD High Country.